We're gonna have a fireside chat about livable wages. Kind of makes a guy feel like FDR. So I received a comment on a video that stated that unskilled labor that does menial tasks doesn't deserve a living wage. And that's bullshit. All labor is skilled labor. Now there is specialized and non-specialized labor, and anybody working full-time hours should make a livable wage. And in this moment, it seems appropriate to quote FDR on his intent when he was, inventing minimum wage. By living wage, I mean more than the bare sustenance level. I mean the wages of a decent living. To which he responded that he can teach somebody to shovel his driveway in 30 seconds, therefore it is not skilled labor. And now I'm sure he thought this was an airtight gotcha example, so let's poke some holes in it so that frog can breathe. First of all, shoveling driveways is not a full-time job. And since you can't work full-time hours to earn a living simply shoveling driveways, it kinda negates the point of this argument. Second, how long does it take to shovel a driveway? Should we say, on average, a half hour? And federal minimum wage is what, $7.25 an hour? But I suck at math in my head, so let's say that your state's minimum wage is $10 an hour. So according to this argument you thought through really well, you're gonna tell me that you're gonna find somebody to do the unskilled job of shoveling your driveway for $5. I mean, best case scenario for you, you might find somebody to do it for $20, which I would never do that. So in theory, you're paying them $40 an hour. And now here's the thing, shoveling a driveway is a skill. It may not take a long time to learn. It requires strength and stamina and the willingness to do a task that you clearly don't want to do, which is why you're paying somebody else to do it. And if that labor was only worth $5 a driveway or $10 an hour like you think it is because it's unspecialized, the people like me who do specialized snow removal, plowing, we wouldn't have a job because nobody is going to pay me $50 to plow their driveway when they can pay somebody else $5 to shovel it. Now here's where we get to the part where y'all just struggle to grasp the concept. You think because they are unspecialized labor, they should not get paid as much as my specialized labor because I have years developing a skill, I have equipment, overhead, insurance, yada, yada, yada. And that's true to an extent. It's not that they should be paid less, it's that I should be paid more. So let's pretend that shoveling driveways could in theory be a full-time job. They should be paid a living wage for doing that. And I should be paid the value of my specialized labor and equipment. They should be making a living wage, I should be making more than a living wage. I don't need to punch down onto them to make me feel better about not getting paid enough. I want us both to be getting paid enough. We should both be getting paid a living wage, and then every time your service becomes more specialized and therefore more valuable, you should be getting paid more, but the bare minimum should be a living wage. And now here's the thing, while you're sitting here bitching about the guy at McDonald's flipping burgers getting $15 an hour? You are missing the entire point. Let's take the right and wrong and the ethics and all of that out of this and look at this just purely economically. Let's say it takes a minimum of $15 an hour, 40 hours a week to earn an actual living in an area, and it's probably more than that in most places now. That's to have a roof over your head, groceries on your table, buy your kids' school supplies, pay for gas, have enough money and time to go to the movies or go out to eat, something like that. That's what it costs. Whether you think a person doing a certain job deserves to make that money is fucking irrelevant. Now you can pay them $7.25 an hour, but that doesn't change the fact that it still costs them twice that to have all the things they need to survive. So if their employer isn't paying them enough to live for the job that they do for them full time, then you are with your taxes in the form of housing assistance and food stamps and medical assistance. And all welfare is corporate welfare, which is why 70% of the people who receive food stamps work full-time. If companies don't want to pay a living wage, that just means that you are now subsidizing their payroll. So keeping that in mind, it makes this all a very simple choice. It doesn't matter if you think a job is worth a living wage. It doesn't matter what you think about skilled labor or unskilled labor. It doesn't matter how you feel at all. That's really honestly irrelevant. The choice is simply, do we as a society want to force companies to pay their employees a living wage regardless of what job they do? Or do we as a society want to continue to write the Walton family a welfare check every month so they don't have to pay their employees that living wage? That's it. There's no philosophical debate to be had here, no argument about right or wrong or who deserves what. We just have to pick one of those two choices. Now, if your choice would be to write a check to Ronald McDonald because you think a single mom deserves to struggle because her skill isn't skilled enough, that is on you, and that's something I don't think I can help you with. But it doesn't change the reality that those are the only two choices you have.